So the ice has started thawing. It was 4 degrees today. Roy managed to drag the Keenan just straight out of the hole that we got it in when it was icy. Once the tractor got some purchase, it was absolutely fine. I'll show you. Just having a scrape up and getting all this bloody slutchy snow away. So this is the hole we made. We weren't in a good mood, let's be honest, and probably acting slightly rashly maybe. I think we'll get some gravel and put it in there just for future. While there's a big hole there, we'll get some gravel and tip it in. So Roy is just going to literally use the feed that we had yesterday, because it's only been in there overnight, so it won't be off or anything. It won't be slightly minging, and there might be a bit to kick out, but it'll be all right. He's going to reverse up, go straight in there, and then I'm going to start just scraping all this horrible snow up. So you can see where we scraped the hill here, so Roy can get down, and we're just going to scrape the rest. It's just turning into sludge, and it's just going to end up being a mess. Do you know what I mean? So ordinarily we'd use the bucket to skip this out of here and take it into the middle and just tip it over that wall there. Show you. Turn around. Give it over the wall here, and it goes into the midden, which is this building here and the one next door. But I've just scraped it round. Yes, that would normally make a large amount of mess, but because it's so wet and minging anyway, I'm gonna need to probably clean up again tomorrow. So I've just scraped it around to save time. I'm gonna have to go and make some tea. Oh, this guy's just come to tip some beet. So we had some beet tipped, as you've seen. This is the beet chopper. So basically what happens is, it goes in the top, and then it goes through these. You see? And that's PTO powered. PTO's down there. You can change how fine you want it by screwing these in. It's down here, and then they all come out chopped in the bottom. So I watched a really interesting video. Was it Grass Tech? Roy will tell me if it wasn't. And it was a video about beet chopping. And yeah, if you weren't interested in beet, it was fairly boring. But if you're interested in beet chopping, it was very interesting. He was saying about dirty beet costs you 10% of your intake in your cows, because it's just stuff that they're eating that isn't doing anything for them, so they're not growing off it. So by feeding dirty beet, which ordinarily when you're roughing on a load of dairy bullocks, it wouldn't be the end of the world that you wanted the cleanest, I'm not saying dirty, I'm saying the cleanest beet in the world. Anyway, that's what he was saying in this video, which I found really interesting. So I'm maybe not take it that we need it pressure washing, but we've ordered fairly cleaned beet, because we opted to get this thing in front of me instead of one of those buckets kind of choppers that you can also dunk in water. I think it was Jersey Cowgirl. Have you seen her? Becky House, whatever her name is. I can never pronounce it. She lives on Jersey anyway. They had a demonstration of one on a video a long time ago, maybe even years ago, and me and Roy had our eye on one of those, and then we decided to go for this, which was fair cheap. And you know what, it's not in bad nick at all. We've used it once, and we threw a bag of potatoes in it just to see how it worked, which was kind of funny because it's, you know, but yeah, we've never used it, so we'll see how it goes, and I'll take you with me when we do it. I'll also do a bit more research into the science of giving beet to fattening cattle. Now I know it binds iodine, and we knew that from poor experience because we didn't chop it, we gave it when we had an iodine problem. And the vet came. Anyway, it binds iodine, and that was one of the questions she asked us: have you been feeding any root crops? So that's always something to bear in mind. This is a couple of days after that was filmed, and I'm just jumping in because it's not plugged in and it's not running. So it's PTO driven, as you can see. PTO runs from the tractor, which is actually here, onto here, onto there, and that turns this here, which turns the rollers in here, and that is how the crusher works. So basically there's a hopper above us, as you can see. So upstairs, I'll show you, is, oh god, what was stood on? Upstairs is full of barley, as you can see, and it goes down the hole there. When it's completely full, you don't have to go up there at all, but when it gets empty like this, before we turn it on, Roy goes up and he shovels it all in to be a massive pile, and then it falls through here, goes through these two rollers which are running in opposite directions, squashes it and throws it out as squashed barley, or crimped or crushed, or whatever the hell you want to call it, or bruised. They say bruised as well. So the other day, what I was doing is this here controls the flow of the barley and how much you are letting down at a time, and this here, which is controlled by this, and this pushes these springs in and moves the whole roller in. This is controlling how fine of a crush or a bruise you want, like how much of a bruise. So when it was letting full pieces of barley through like this, that was no good. And then obviously as I moved it, you could see it's done it till it's crushed like this. I couldn't explain that the other day. I wasn't in the right frame of mind. And as well, this was running and it's really noisy, and you don't come in here without your mask on because it literally makes you feel like you've got full on flu afterwards and you end up wheezing and stuff. It's not very nice stuff to be around. This is hops. So this is a byproduct from the brewing industry. So these are hops before they go through the brewing process, which I find really interesting. So they are, let me see here, they're like little flowers, and they are vacuum packed, drop packed, and put into bags like this. They smell really interesting, if I'm honest. Like, I can't describe it. And then obviously the other side of it is the malting barley, which is up here. Now, I can't show you this because it's in bags like this, but it just does look, to be perfectly honest, it just looks crushed barley. And yeah, I can show you it when it comes out because that's what Roy's doing here. So this stuff here is what we're picking up, and this is a byproduct. So they basically do their thing with it at the brewery, and then the bulk of this drops out and they keep the liquid, and that's your beer. They do all sorts of different things to it, and there's loads of different rooms that go all the way that way that do different things. And we take the byproduct away and we feed it to our animals, which is actually a little bit of what annoys me so much about things like this programme that's been on television. Now, I have been aware other people have been going on about it on YouTube and stuff, but I just wanted to put my tiny point of view across. I have been active on Twitter about it, but not necessarily YouTube. Our cows eat grass silage and barley, which we grow ourselves, and then waste products such as this, and to be tarred with the brush of a soy-fed feedlot, and especially with statistics from worldwide data on cattle rather than just England, UK kind of data. I just think it's just doing us a disservice as, quite a sustainable system to rear beef. And that is in no way, dissing anybody else's or no way dissing any other countries', systems of rearing beef. We all do our own things. But when in a comparison, I do think it's always fair to look at a more of a local baseline level rather than at a global level, because actually we're not comparable at all. So this here is the waste brewer's grain being expelled from the hole in the wall. The hopper's on the other side of in there. Oh, it's really late. We've just been to Roy's dad's and I'm just looking for the de-icer because everything's frozen. Oh, here it is. I stole it and took it in the car. De-icer. Of it is how little you have to use. Cramp de-icer for the win. I would have never considered having de-icer on the farm. Ever, would you? No, he wouldn't either. I look luminescent in this light. On the inside. It's really like you don't do. Spread it on the inside of my mellow. Oh, come on! Wipe it off! It's gonna stink, man. How are you gonna get rid of it? There's no windscreen wipers on the inside. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's like... It's not even funny. I've just come down to hook this silage trailer up because the marshal's had its rams changed, and the hook that we broke when we pulled the Keenan and the case up there with the Valtra, oops, so this was a random chain. Carl Wilson will be going, oh no. Carl found it when he was mowing. We had some hedging and stuff done. Sorry, I'm just walking over some ice. We had some hedging and stuff done. And in that field there, I think someone's travelled down and lost something off. Because we, oh my God, it's so sad to admit, we didn't have a chain. Big Way has a chain. We didn't have a chain. We've always used like ratchet straps and ruined them. So anyway, yeah, we found this chain and we were dead excited that it didn't completely wreck Carl's mowers, and then we were also dead excited that we got ourselves a chain. Turns out we hadn't got ourselves a chain and it broke. Anywho, for those of you who were mightily worried the other day about the fact that Roy crashed the Keenan into the Valtra, this is the damage it did. That's it. honestly, you couldn't have been any more lucky that that's all it did. And it didn't even really do anything to the Keenan. It just kind of stopped it in its tracks, do you know what I mean? Thank God they weren't going at any great speed, but it was this hill here. It's not even really that much of a hill. So Blue's a spit out hitch. I'm really sorry, you actually can't see. Totally rubbish on me. And I'm so small that I can't see, so I need to like do this every time I reverse trailer. So don't laugh at me. Just don't laugh at me. Yes? Flashback to this time last week when our biggest problems were literally a bit of water in the diesel. Yes, dirty.